Part 1. The engine room essential configuration and control. For an expert, the front-end transactions, VA01, are just the tip of the iceberg. The real work happens here. 1. VOV8. Define sales document types. Description. The control center for sales orders. This is where you define the behavior of order types, OR, RE, FD, etc. Consultant's perspective. You don't just create a document type. Here you control the entire process flow. Key fields to master. SD document category determines if it's an order, C return, H, or delivery, J. This is hard-coded SAP logic. You cannot create custom categories, only custom types. Screen sequence group. If your client wants a custom tab in the sales order, this points to the screen logic. Incompletion procedure. Links to the rules that prevent an order from being saved if data is missing. Immediate delivery. Crucial for cash sales or rush orders. Toggling this triggers a delivery immediately upon order save. Expert tip. If a user complains that the item category is wrong in the sales order, start your investigation here to see which item category group triggers the determination logic. 2. VOV7. Define item categories. Description. Item categories, TAN, TAD, TAS. Define how the material behaves inside the order. Example. Is it stockable? Is it a service? Is it a text item? Consultant's perspective. This is the heart of SD customization. A single change here impacts billing, shipping, and pricing. Key fields to master. Billing relevance. Example. A equals delivery related, B equals order related. If an invoice isn't generating, check this first. Pricing, X means standard pricing. B means free goods, 100% discount. Schedule line allowed. If this is unchecked, you cannot confirm quantities or dates. Expert tip. For third-party sales, TAS. Ensure billing relevance is set to F. Order-related billing, based on invoice receipt quantity, to prevent billing the customer before the vendor bills you. 3. VOV6. Define schedule line categories. Description. Determines if and how availability checks and materials planning, MRP, occur. Standard. CP, CN. Consultant's perspective. If the business says, why didn't this order generate a requirement in production? You check. VOV6. Key fields to master. Movement type. Example. 601 for goods issue. This links SD to MM or FI. If the goods issue doesn't hit the right G or L account, the movement type here is often the root cause. Rec. Assembly. This checkbox turns on the transfer of requirements TOR. Without it, MRP is blind to the sales order. Expert tip. Use schedule line category CN, no MRP, for returns or pure information items to avoid messing up the planning team's data. 4. VTLA, or VTFL. Copy control. Description. The traffic police of data flow. VTLA. Sales order delivery. VTFL. Delivery billing. Consultant's perspective. This is where 60% of data missing issues are solved. It controls what data, partners, pricing, quantities, copies over from source to target. Key fields to master. Data transfer routines, VOFM. These are ABAP snippets. Example. Routine 001003. They dictate custom logic, like only copy pricing if the order is not blocked. Pricing type. In VTFL, determines if prices are copied unchanged, redetermined, or partially updated during billing. Expert tip. If users encounter the error split analysis, split due to different header data during billing, VF04. It's usually because a field in the delivery header doesn't match the existing billing header. Check the copying requirements routine here. 5. OVZ9 Availability Check Control. Description. Defines the scope of check for ATP available to promise. Consultant's perspective. The most contentious T-code in logistics meetings. Sales wants to sell everything, production wants to reserve safety stock. OVZ9 is the compromise. Key fields to master. Check without RLT. If checked, the system only promises what is physically there. If unchecked, the system assumes you can manufacture more within the replenishment lead time. Include safety stock, strictly purely a business decision. Include purchase orders. Do you want to sell goods that haven't arrived at the dock yet? Expert tip: always configure a different scope of check for A, sales orders, and B, deliveries. You might want to be optimistic during order entry, but strict during delivery creation to prevent shipping error. Part 2. Pricing and Finance Integration, the money. Pricing is the most complex submodule in SD. Hands-on experts must know the condition technique inside out. 6. V/08, Pricing Procedure Definition. Description: the backbone of pricing. It lists every condition type, price, discount, tax, freight, in a specific sequence. Consultant's perspective: you organize the logic of calculation here. Key fields to master: step or counter, the execution order. Requirement: routine. A snippet: example. 2 equals item with pricing, that checks if a condition should run. Alternative calculation type: forces a custom formula, example. Profit margin calculation, instead of standard math. Account key, ERL, ERS, the bridge to the GRL. This tag tells the system where to post the revenue in finance. Expert tip: never delete standard SAP steps. If you need to hide a step, use the statistical flag. Deleting standard logic often breaks the net value calculation. 7. V/06, Condition Type Definition. Description: defines the characteristics of a specific price element, example. PR:00-base price, K007-customer discount. Consultant's perspective: if the user asks, why can't I change this price manually? Or, why is this discount calculating as a fixed amount instead of a percentage? You fix it here. Key fields to master. Access sequence: linking the search strategy, how the system finds the price. Plus or minus, controls if it is a surcharge or discount. Manual entries: controls if a user can override the system price. Priority: no limit. Manual entry has priority, or not possible. Expert tip: if you want a condition to be a header condition, applies to the whole order, like a total order discount. Uncheck item condition and check header condition. 8. VKOA, Revenue Account Determination. Description: the integration point between SD and FI. It maps SD conditions to G or L accounts. Consultant's perspective: when VF01, billing, fails with G or L account not found, this is the first place you look. Key fields to master: Table 001, Cust GR or MAT GARP, or ACCT key, the most common mapping combination. Account key matches the key from the pricing procedure, V/08. Expert tip: always assign a G or L account for the provision account key if you are using rebates or accruals. Failing to do so will block the posting of accrual conditions. 9. OVKK, Pricing Procedure Determination. Description: the switchboard that decides which pricing procedure, V/08, is picked up for a specific order. Logic: sales area plus document pricing proc from VOV8 plus customer pricing proc from customer master equals pricing procedure. Expert tip: if your new pricing procedure isn't triggering, check the customer master XD03 greater than sales area data to ensure the cust. Proc field matches what you configured in OVKK. 10. VK11 or VK12, maintain condition records. Description: the user transaction to set actual prices, example. Material X costs $100. Consultant's perspective: while this is a user T-code, consultants use it to test configuration. Expert tip: use the scales button to set tiered pricing, buy 10 at $10, buy 100 at $9. Also, familiarize yourself with VK13, display, and VKM4 for mass updates. Part 3. Master data and customer management. Bad master data breaks good configuration. 11. XD01 or VD01, create customer master. Description: XD01, central sales and finance views. VD01, sales only. Note for SR4 HANA users, in SR4 HANA, these are obsolete and redirected to Transaction BP, Business Partner. However, understanding the legacy XD01 tabs is still vital for migration and concept understanding. Key tabs: sales area data greater than shipping. Shipping conditions determines route. Delivering plant: sales area data greater than billing. Incoterms: terms of payment. Tax classification: critical for tax determination. 12. VD51, Customer Material Info Record, CMIR description, maps the customer's part number to your internal SAP material number. Consultant's perspective: this is the highest priority data source in many determinations. If a plant is defined here, it overrides the customer master and material master. Expert tip: use this to handle partial delivery tolerances specific to a customer or material combination. 13. VB11, Material Determination. Description: automatically swaps one material for another during order entry. Example: old model A is replaced by new model B. Usage: used for product obsolescence, promotions, buy X get Y, or packaging substitutions. Expert tip: you can set the substitution reason to automatic, user doesn't see the swap, or manual, user gets a pop-up to choose. 14. VOPAN, Partner Determination. Description: configures partner functions. Sold to, shipped to, billed to, payer, contact person. Consultant's perspective: defines which partners are mandatory in an order. Expert tip: if you can't change a partner in a sales order, check the partner determination procedure assigned to the account group. The not modifiable flag might be set. 15. XD99 or mass maintenance. Description: tool to update thousands of customer records or materials at once. Consultant's perspective: a dangerous but necessary tool. Expert tip: always run in test mode first. If you accidentally update the reconciliation account for all customers, you will break the FIFIAR link. Part 4. Sales Order Processing, the Daily Grind. 16. VA01 or VA02 or VA03, create or change or display sales order. Description: the primary transaction for sales. Expert tip: learn to use the analysis buttons on the pricing and account determination screens. They tell you exactly why a price was found or why it wasn't. This is your primary debugging tool without ABAP. 17. VA05, list of sales orders. Description: a reporting tool to view orders by customer, material, or date. Expert tip: the standard VA05 is often slow. Suggest VA05N if available in your version, or create variants to limit the date range. 18. VA21, create quotation. Description: precursor to the sales order. Expert tip: configure completion rules in the item category, VOV7, so that when a quotation is referenced by an order, the quote is marked as completed and doesn't remain open forever. 19. VA41, create contract. Description: quantity or value contracts. Expert tip: ensure that the update logic is set correctly in copy control, VTLA. When a release order, call-off, is created, it must consume the contract quantity. 20. VA31, create scheduling agreement. Description: long-term agreements with defined delivery dates, JIT, or forecasts. Usage: common in automotive and high-tech industries. Expert tip: master the difference between forecast delivery schedule and JIT delivery schedule. Part 5, Shipping and Logistics. 21. VL01N, create outbound delivery. Description: triggers the shipping process. Expert tip: if VL01N fails with no schedule lines due for delivery, check two things. 1. Is the order confirmed? Check VA03 schedule lines. 2. Is the selection date in VL01N inclusive of the schedule line date? 22. VL02N, change outbound delivery. Description: used to pick, pack, and post goods issue, PGI. Expert tip: post goods issue is the point of no return. It reduces inventory and updates the G or L, COGS. To reverse it, you cannot use VL02N, you must use VL09. 23. VT01N, create shipment. Description: groups multiple deliveries into a single truck or vessel, part of LETRA module. Expert tip: vital for calculating freight costs. Deliveries are assigned to shipments, and freight costs are calculated in the shipment document VI01, not the delivery. 24. VL060, Outbound Delivery Monitor. Description: a dashboard for logistics managers. Shows deliveries pending picking, pending PGI, etc. Expert tip: this is more powerful than a simple report. Users can execute mass PGI or picking from this screen. 25. 0 VRF, Route Determination Config. Description: defines how SAP selects the route. Example: truck, NY to LA. Formula: departure zone, plant, plus destination zone, ship to, plus shipping condition, customer, plus transportation group, material. Expert tip: if route determination fails, the delivery cannot be created. Check if the transportation group is maintained in the Material Master, Sales, or General Plant view. Part 6. Billing and Invoicing. 26. VF01. Create billing document. Description: turns a delivery or order into an invoice. Expert tip: if you have multiple deliveries to the same customer, VF01 will attempt to combine them into one invoice. If they split, click Split Analysis to see which header field caused the break, usually payment terms or Incoterms. 27. VF04, Billing Due List. Description: the work list for billing. It shows everything ready to be invoiced. Expert tip: this is usually set up as a background job, batch job, to run nightly. 28. VF11, Cancel Billing Document. Description: reverses an invoice. Expert tip: this does not just delete the invoice. It creates a cancellation document, S1 type, to offset the accounting entry. 29. VFX3, List Blocked Billing Documents. Description: displays invoices that were created but failed to post to accounting FI. Consultant's perspective: you'll live here during go live. Common errors: posting period closed, account determination missing, or cost center blocked. Part 7. Technical and Troubleshooting Tools. The Super User Kit. These are the tools that separate a junior from a senior consultant. 30. SE16N, General Table Display. Description: view raw data in database tables. Key tables to memorize: VBAK, Sales Order Header. VBAP, Sales Order Item. LIKP, Delivery Header. LIPS, Delivery Item. VBRK, Billing Header. VBRP, Billing Item. VBUK, Document Status, Header, Note. In S or 4, HANA, status fields moved to VBAK or LIKP. VBFA, Document Flow, the links between order, delivery, invoice. Expert tip: use SE16N to validate data migration or troubleshoot issues where the front end, VA03, is masking the raw data. 31. IDOC Utilities, WE02, or WE05, or WE19. Description: troubleshooting electronic data interchange, EDI. WE02 or WE05, display IDOC list, red lights equals errors. WE19, test tool, reprocess, or edit in IDOC. Expert tip: if an order comes in via EDI, message type orders and fails, use WE19 to reprocess it in foreground mode to see exactly which screen or field is throwing the error. 32. NACE, Output Determination. Description: the cockpit for configuring output, print, email, EDI. Consultant's perspective: instead of navigating SPARO, use NACE to access conditions, procedures, and access sequences for all applications. V1 equals sales, V2 equals shipping, V3 equals billing. Expert tip: if an output isn't triggering, check the communication strategy in the condition record. 33. VOFM, Configuration of Routines. Description: maintain requirements, copying routines, and data transfer logic. Consultant's perspective: when standard configuration isn't enough, you write ABAP routines here. Expert tip: after creating a routine in a development system, you must run report RV80HGEN to activate it in the target system, QA or prod. If you forget this, the routine exists but won't work. 34. SU53, Authorization Analysis. Description: when a user says, "I can't click this button," or "I get a permission error," Expert tip: ask the user to run SU53 immediately after the error. It will show exactly which authorization object is missing, so you can send a screenshot to the security team. 35. STO5 Performance Trace. Description: SQL Trace. Consultant's perspective: use this when a transaction is running extremely slow. It tells you which database table hits are causing the lag. Example: a Z program doing a full table scan on VBAP. 36. SM37 Job Overview. Description: monitor background jobs. Example: nightly billing run, MRP. Expert tip: if the billing due list didn't clear last night, check SM37 for canceled jobs and read the spool log. 37. SP01 Spool Controller. Description: view print outputs. Expert tip: if a user says the invoice didn't print, check SP01 to see if SAP generated the file. If it's there, the issue is with the physical printer or network, not SAP. 38V26 Sales Documents by Object Status. Description: a powerful reporting tool to find stuck documents. Expert tip: use this to find all sales orders where the credit status is blocked or not checked. 39. VL10 Delivery Due List. New description: advanced version of VL04. Generates deliveries en masse. Expert tip: it runs in the background. Configure user roles in VL10 settings to default the layout for different logistics teams. 40. V or I6 Pricing Report Configuration. Description: create custom reports to display condition records, prices. Expert tip: users hate standard pricing reports. Use this to build a grid that shows material price per customer in a readable format. Part 8 Credit Management and Risk. 41. FD32 Customer Credit Management. Classic. Description: sets credit limits, risk categories. Note: obsolete in S or 4 HANA, replaced by FSCM, but still standard in ECC. Expert tip: the credit horizon field in the central data is critical. It determines how far into the future the system looks for open orders to calculate exposure. 42. UK MBP, FSCM Credit Management, S or 4 HANA. Description: the modern replacement for FD32. Expert tip: credit limits are now part of the business partner role. It allows for automated credit scoring calculation based on external data like Dun & Bradstreet integration. 43. VKM3 Sales Documents Credit Release. Description: the credit manager's dashboard. Usage: lists all orders blocked for credit. The manager selects them and clicks Release. Expert tip: even if an order is released here, changing the quantity or price in the order later will trigger a new credit check and potentially reblock it. 44. OVA8 Automatic Credit Control. Description: configuration of rules for credit checking. Expert tip: you can configure checks based on oldest open item. If a customer has an unpaid invoice overdue by greater than 30 days, block all new orders, even if they are under their credit limit. Part 9 Specialized Functions. 45. VB01 Listing or Exclusion. Description: listing: customer can only buy these materials. Exclusion: customer can buy everything except these materials. Expert tip: exclusion takes precedence over listing. Used heavily in pharma, regulating which drugs can be sold to which regions. 46. VB01 Rebate Agreements. Description: retroactive discounts. Example: if you buy 10,000 units this year, you get 2% back at year-end. Note: replaced by Condition Contract Management, CCM, T-code, WCOCO, in S or 4 HANA. Expert tip: rebates are performance killers. They require updating a separate index structure, VBOX. In S or 4 HANA, this is optimized. 47. VC01 Sales Support, or CAS. Description: legacy CRM features inside ECC, direct mailings, interactions. Consultant's perspective: rarely used now, replaced by Salesforce or C4C, but good to know for legacy data extraction. 48. BD87 Status Monitor for ALE Messages. Description: monitoring IDOC traffic. similar to WE02, but organized by business object. Expert tip. This is the best place to reprocess a mass pile of failed iDocs. Example: 50 orders failed because a material was blocked. Unblock material. Mass reprocess in BD8749. SM30. Maintain table views. Description: access maintenance views for custom Z tables. Expert tip. As a functional consultant, you will often ask developers to build Z tables for mapping data. Example: ZSA LESREPMAP. SM30 is where you maintain that data. 50. VS00 Master Data Support. Description: a menu tree containing various cross-checking tools for master data. Expert tip. Contains customer hierarchy checks which are complex to visualize in standard master data screens. Final hands-on advice for the consultant. To truly be an expert, do not memorize these codes in isolation. You must understand the integration chain. 1. Configuration. SPRO or VOV8 defines the rules. 2. Master data. XD01 or VK11 provides the variables. 3. Process codes. VA01 or VL01N execute the logic. 4. Tables. SE16N store the result. If an error occurs, traverse this chain backward. Check the table data. Check the user entry. Check the master data. Check the config.